We're learning that the former talk show host has been diagnosed with a form of dementia.
She's losing memory. Have you guys noticed that?
How dare him? I control men.
She would call to order her breakfast at 7:30 in the morning with the Guardian, and she would take the order, and the order wouldn't show up until sometimes.
Puffy, you had me speeding through numerous traffic lights, doing gunplay in a night.
We're learning that the former talk show host has been diagnosed with a form of dementia. I think she's losing memory. Have you guys noticed that? How dare him? I control me. She would call to order her breakfast at 7:30 in the morning with the Guardian, and she would take the order, and the order wouldn't show up until sometimes noon. Where's Wendy's money? Wendy Williams had $55 million in the bank before Guardian took over and told her she has no money left. She had no access to her money, so every time she had to do anything that she had to pay for, she had to go through the Guardian. Wendy Williams, the voice who exposed the secrets of others, now silenced under claims of permanent incapacitation. But was this the result of illness, or something far more sinister from the shocking allegations that someone we all know who may have orchestrated her downfall? And Puffy, you had me speeding through numerous traffic lights doing gunplay in a nightclub, to her legal guardian accused of stealing her fortune. But what truly caused Wendy's shocking decline? Alcohol, drugs, or perhaps something even more calculated? And why are figures like Sabrina Mori profiting while Wendy's cries for help are ignored? She had no access to her money, so every time she had to do anything that she had to pay for, she had to go through the Guardian. Is Wendy Williams just the latest in a string of stars targeted by shadowy forces like Jamie Foxx? So on Tuesday morning, something happened to Jamie. He suffered a medical emergency, we're told, which is all in Atlanta, where he's been working on a film with Cameron Diaz. Yes, and he was taken to the hospital, or maybe even TD. Jake, let's break down the chilling truth about Wendy Williams' tragic fall from grace, the damning allegations against her guardian, and the questions that remain unanswered. Buckle up, because this is only the beginning. Wendy Williams wasn't just a talk show host, she was a cultural phenomenon known for her bold takes and fearless interviews. She didn't shy away from controversy, but today, it's Wendy herself at the center of a storm. How you doing? Wendy Williams' current situation with her legal guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, is messy. For those who may not know, Morrissey was appointed to oversee Wendy affairs after her health issues and cognitive decline, but as of late her actions have come under intense scrutiny. It seems there's a growing concern that Morrissey might be taking advantage of Wendy's vulnerability for her own financial gain. For starters, Wendy Williams was labeled as permanently incapacitated in new court documents by her guardian less than a year after revealing her dementia and Asia diagnosis to the public. Her guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, and her legal team wrote in court documents that Wendy has been afflicted by early-onset dementia, and as a result has become cognitively impaired and permanently incapacitated. The revelation came amid an ongoing legal battle over the Lifetime series Where is Wendy Williams, a documentary that showed the former TV host dealing with alcohol addiction alongside health and financial issues. Morrissey has been accused of mishandling a significant amount of money, with one report claiming that she mismanaged $400,000 tied to the Where is Wendy Williams documentary. The documentary, which was supposed to be a project about Wendy's strength and comeback, has instead raised eyebrows for its focus on her personal struggles, including her alcohol use and mental health battles. Some fans and insiders believe that this documentary may have been exploited for profit and that Morrissey is benefiting from Wendy's health crisis rather than helping her. Imagine that for a moment. Wendy Williams wants a powerhouse in the entertainment world, unable to access her own finances. It's a chilling thought. According to sources close to Wendy, Morrissey has taken complete control over Wendy's financial decisions, leaving her with little to no autonomy. This has led to some disturbing claims that Morrissey is not acting in Wendy's best interest, but rather in her own. The claims get even more troubling when we consider the broader context of Morris's role as Wendy's guardian. She was meant to protect Wendy from making poor decisions due to her health decline, which includes her ongoing battle with alcohol and early-onset dementia. But some people are beginning to wonder if Morrissey is taking advantage of her position to profit off of Wendy's misfortune. People are questioning the motives behind Morris's actions. For instance, some believe that the documentary, which should have focused on Wendy's career and accomplishments, instead capitalized on her struggles. Why would Morrissey allow this to happen, and why would Wendy's family members, who reportedly approved of the project, let it go forward, knowing that it might worsen Wendy's state of mind? But my real name is Wendy Hunter. Yep, MHM, and I'm divorced. Yes, he's got no money. One of the most concerning allegations is that Morrissey has used Wendy's deteriorating condition as a cash cow. The documentary, which supposedly should have honored Wendy's legacy, might have instead been an opportunity for Morrissey to further control Wendy's wealth. Some insiders have suggested that Morrissey, who previously managed clients with similar guardianships, might have seen Wendy as another source of income. It's important to understand that guardianships are meant to be a form of protection. When someone is declared incapacitated, a guardian steps in to manage their affairs and ensure their well-being. But when that guardian's actions begin to appear self-serving, as they have in this case, it raises a lot of questions about how far they're willing to go to keep control over their ward's assets. Not only has Morrissey been accused of mismanaging Wendy's finances, but some believe she's also been holding back the truth about Wendy's health. If these claims are true, Morrissey might be more concerned with maintaining control of Wendy's resources than with actually getting her the help she needs. This has left fans and loved ones alike wondering, is Wendy really getting the care she deserves? Or is she just another pawn in a larger game of manipulation? Well, Wendy's best friend tends to think that she is not receiving any care at all. In an exclusive interview with the U.S. Sun, Wendy's lifelong friend Regina Shell opened up about her concerns over the type of guardianship the former TV host is under. He had no access to her money, so every time she had to do anything that she had to pay for, she had to go through the guardian. Regina noted Wendy's guardian Sabrina Morrissey was court-appointed and was a stranger to the star before she took control of her life in 2022. This is a Britney Spears thing, only it's worse since it's not even Wendy's family who has control. Her friends said at least with Britney Spears it was her dad, it was her family. This is a woman who's not even family. Regina previously opened up to the U.S. Sun about how she stayed with Wendy for a majority of 2022. The star's friends said at one point she, along with Wendy's sister Wanda Finney and the Guardian, were all working together on helping with Wendy's needs. Initially, when I was staying with Wendy in the summertime, we were like triangulating. We were speaking to Sabrina, but then she kind of disappeared, she claimed. Regina said that's when the trouble began in getting Wendy's food deliveries on time. She would order food at like 7:30 in the morning and breakfast wouldn't arrive till 11:30, and by that time she's ready for lunch, she said. In the aftermath of the Where is Wendy Williams Lifetime documentary, Regina appeared on News Nation to talk about what she saw while living with Wendy in 2022. She lashed out at Wendy's guardian in that chat. When I was in New York and staying with Wendy in the summer, I noticed when she would call she had no access to her money, Regina told the outlet, so every time she had to do anything that she had to pay for, she had to go through the guardian. The star's childhood best friend said that often Wendy would go hours without food. She would call to order her breakfast at 7:30 in the morning with the guardian, and she would take the order and the order wouldn't show up until sometimes noon. But while Wendy's guardian is being accused of theft, what about her own family? The Lifetime documentary promised to honor Wendy's legacy, but instead showcased her at her lowest, bedridden, drinking vodka in bed and having panic attacks. One particular fan commented, it's really heartbreaking to see Wendy Williams like this. In an excerpt from the doc airing on Lifetime Saturday, we now know she's been diagnosed with aphasia and dementia. You see, when the documentary was first announced, many fans were hopeful it was marketed as a glimpse into Wendy's possible comeback. After all, Wendy has been battling serious health issues since being diagnosed with aphasia and frontotemporal dementia in 2023, which led to her being placed under a court-appointed guardianship to manage her affairs. But what the documentary actually showed was far from the uplifting story fans had hoped for. Instead of focusing on a career comeback, whereas Wendy Williams exposed Wendy at one of her lowest points, the show featured shocking footage of Wendy drinking vodka in bed and suffering from panic attacks. Heartbreaking for those who remembered her as a competent, powerful talk show host. The documentary painted a grim picture of her struggles, and fans quickly accused the producers of exploiting Wendy's vulnerable state for ratings. Wendy's legal guardian Sabrina Morrissey didn't take the criticism lightly. In fact, she's filed a lawsuit against Lifetime A&E Networks and the production companies behind the documentary. Morrissey's legal team claims that the documentary is a blatant exploitation of Wendy's health. They argue that Wendy, who has been declared permanently incapacitated, was not in a state to consent to the project and was misled into thinking the series would highlight her resilience, not her downfall.